How are you? I'm Kerry. This is What This Week, where I talk about what I've been reading, what I've been listening to, what I've been watching, what I've been doing or not. Remarkably, I actually have had stuff going on recently, but normally life is not that interesting, so I'm gonna have to think about how to fill this when life goes back to being less full. Anyway, hope you're all right. I didn't think I'd been reading very much recently. I feel like I've been on a bit of a go slow, but I have an absolute stack of books to talk about, so let's start there. I've been filming and therefore reading for a reading vlog where I read new Welsh literature. So I've been reading these 3 books. So I won't go into detail about these because obviously I'm doing a vlog for them. So if you want to know what I thought about them, check out the vlog, which will be out when I finish it. The first was The Crazy Truth by Gemma Jane Howell. This book was like a sucker punch to the face every time I picked it up. It's very, very confronting. This book is Neon Roses by Rachel Dawson. Shall I show you the covers? Yes, really, really confronting read. Neon Roses by Rachel Dawson. This was a queer cwtch in a book. It was just gorgeous. Also excellent audiobook. And I have just started The Unbroken Beauty of Rosalind by McCarthy. I've only read a chapter, but so far it's very poetic and lyrical. The first chapter made me think of Under Milkwood by Dylan Thomas, so that's pretty high praise as far as I'm concerned. Interestingly, what I hadn't appreciated before I started reading is that all of these are women authors, and I think all of them are debut fiction, so I didn't mean to do that. I meant to just pick some new books that have been published from Wales recently, but yeah, even better. So that's what I have been reading for the vlog. What else? Jess at Stalking Kafka has started a read-along for Wilkie Collins' book The Moonstone, so that's just started this week. I've literally just read the first couple of chapters, and we're using Voxer. I've never used Voxer before. It's a whole new world. Mostly we've been chatting about Wilkie Collins' beard so far across the ages. But I'm looking forward to reading this with the group. I've got this enormous edition. I bought it, I think, because it had a lot more pages than the others, so I thought it would have a decent sized font, which it does, but B, I'm looking for, it's illustrated, she says, not being able to find a single illustration. Hey, here we go. Hold please. There we go. So it's got these lovely illustrations in it. My battery is flashing. No battery, no, not now. Hang in there, okay? Just hang on a minute. So that's what I've been reading with my eyeballs. What I've been listening to, I listened to There by Tommy Orange. I listened to it because Wandering Stars was on my radar and it's now been longlisted for the Booker Prize. So, hello Brennan Barr. So I thought that might be interesting. I'm not sure what I feel about it yet. I'm not sure I can confidently describe the book or what I thought about it, and that's not to say that it was a bad experience. I'm just finding it difficult to distill my thoughts and feelings, so you're gonna have to wait for a review for that because I don't have much to say about it. And the other thing that I've started listening to is Kamila Shamsie's Home Fire. I've got this out from my library, but I've also got the audio out from my library too, so that's I'll be able to read and listen in tandem. It's about Isma, who's just gone and moved to that was Brennan yawning, who's just gone to move to America to study, having spent most of her kind of like growing up life raising her twin siblings, and she's come across somebody called Eamon, who is something to do with yeah, a son of a British Muslim politician. So So that's Home Fire by Kamila Shamsie. So those are the books that I've been reading and listening to. The other thing that I've been listening to, which has been an amazing find, so one of my book clubs suggests a book and a podcast each month, and I've never bothered with the podcast, and feeling very guilty about that, I decided that this month I would listen to an episode of the podcast. And this month it was, what's it called? Normal Gossip. It's called Normal Gossip. And so I listened to an episode on my way to work, and then within the same day, on my way into work, in my lunch break, and on my way home, I'd listened to 3 episodes. It's so good. So the concept is the host is sent like gossipy anecdotes, like real life anecdotes by people, and she has a co-host on there who's like a guest, and she relays this piece of gossip, this anecdote about other people, and tells it as if she's sharing gossip. And so you are in the same position as the guest on the podcast, like hearing it for the first time. And so you know, whilst they're in those moments of like, oh my God, no she didn't, or you know, sometimes the host will say, okay, so we've got this conundrum, what would you do here? And you get to participate in that. It's so much fun. I have cackled out loud in public and not cared a dot, because it's just so good. I've listened to the whole of the 2nd season. For some reason we've started with the 2nd season, but I'll definitely be listening to more, and it's so good to the point where I think I'm going to have to like ration it to myself, because I don't want to like run through it all and then not have any left to listen to. So yeah, it's brilliant podcast. I'm so grateful that I chose this month to grow a conscience about book group and actually listen to the podcast that's been chosen for us. Okay, battery did die, but we are back. Where was I? Okay, so that's what I've been reading and listening to. In terms of filming, like I say, I've been doing a Welsh literature vlog, and I have also just filmed my Shorty September TBR. Sian and Bert of Past Story Time and Heather at Too Many Heathers have designed these amazing prompts and prompt cards based on tarot. They're really fun. So I've just filmed my TBR for Shorty September, and I may do a kind of recommendation video as well based on short books that I've read and enjoyed. Let me know if you're taking part in Shorty September. Brennan's on the move. Brennan Bar, here, come here. Come here. Oh, look out. Come here. Brennan. Come here. Brennan. Such an obedient dog. Oh, come in. Hello, Samuel. Come on then, come say hello. Here. Yo. Thank you. Okay, well that's Sam. No, not that way. Can everybody lie down? Come on, come and lie down. Sorry, are my books in your way? Everything okay? Can you lie down? Oh. Sit. Do what you want. Okay. In terms of what I've been watching, we started a couple of nights ago Bad Monkey on Apple TV. It's got Vince Vaughn in it. It's a kind of, he's a deadbeat, out of favour detective in the Florida Keys. It's quite funny. I wouldn't normally say that I found Vince Vaughn very funny, but it's pretty good. And we also watched, also on Apple TV last night, The Instigators, which is a film that had Ben Affleck and Matt Damon and Casey Affleck in it. I think Ben Affleck was one of the producers. It was very good. It was a kind of robbery heist situation that goes wrong, but it was very funny. Casey Affleck was hilarious. I once saw Casey Affleck in a play, you know. Just FYI. The other thing that I have watched and finished this week is the new series of Criminal Minds. Now, if you are a Criminal Minds person, please let me know in the comments. Criminal Minds is one of those series that I watch on repeat from the beginning over again now and again. It's a real comfort series, which is odd and slightly concerning because it's about pretty gruesome murders and serial killers on the whole. But it's about the FBI's behavioural analysis unit, so it's all about the behaviour as opposed to the evidence that lead them to kind of solve these crimes and track down usually killers. It's brilliant. The characters in it are so good, and it's a little bit, I mean, it's about really dark stuff. The murders and stuff are pretty grim, but it's also a little bit campy and dare I say cozy? I don't know, just the way that the characters are for the most part. So it's one of those American series where there's been like 20 plus or so. There's been a lot of series of them. And then they obviously decided to kind of like go in a slightly new direction. So the last 2 seasons, they've made much more gritty and much darker. So it's mostly the same characters, and some of them transfer to that grittier style quite easily, some of them less so. So there's this one character, Dave, who in the earlier series is like your kind of father figure. He's very gentle, he's incredibly generous, he's Italian and he loves to cook, and he's a real sweetheart. He's the kind of like soft touch, like warm fuzzy uncle, I guess. And then in this new take on Criminal Minds, they've made him really like gritty, and like he's like completely isolated. He isolates himself from everybody, and every now and again he like drops in a swear, and honestly it's like watching your grandparent try and say the F-bomb. Is just really uncomfortable. Yeah, if you're a Criminal Minds lover, I'd love to hear what you think, and if you are, tell me what your favourite episode is. Yeah, so that's what I've been watching. And in terms of other stuff, we had a family wedding this week, which was just delightful. It was really, really lovely. I had an excuse to get dressed up and wear a hat, which, you know, love an excuse to wear a hat. And we had a really, really nice time with family, and got to let our hair down a little bit. We had a nice stay in a hotel, and it was just delightful. So that's been my week. How about you? How's your week been? I don't know what I'll have coming up for you. Oh, the other thing that I meant to say actually, that in terms of videos, not filmed but recently published, I made a video where I recommend a book for every genre. Had a lot of fun putting it together, and if you haven't seen that video yet, I will link it in the cards above, because it was a really good time putting it together, and I'd love to see what other people's suggestions would be if they had to recommend a book from every genre. I'd love to see others do the same. It's really good fun. Yeah, so that's it. That's where we are. I've got a short week in work next week, and then I'm on annual leave. We're not going anywhere. We're going to do some day trips and some bits and pieces, so I've no idea what I've got going on by then. I hopefully will have finished the Welsh vlog, because the last book that I've got left to read is very short by then. May or may not have started something new. Who knows? Oh, okay. Thank you, Brennan. So from all of us to you, I hope you're having a great week and looking after yourself, and I'll see you again really soon.